Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. I'm here to do a short soul reflections video here in December on a huge astrological event that is occurring as we near the end of this year of 2020. We've already had some big energies happening, like the full moon lunar eclipse on November 30th, bringing in endings, and the new moon solar eclipse coming up here in just a day or two from this recording, which is going to be on December 14th, bringing in new beginnings. So that in and of itself is a powerful thing. But this thing that I'm going to talk to you about is something that hasn't happened in quite a long time. And it's, again, a huge deal as far as the ushering in of a new energy, of a new kind of era even. And what I'm talking about here is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius. Just to give you a quick little bit of a background here, Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each sign of the zodiac. And Saturn is about limitations and restrictions. It's the Lord of Karma, deals with karmic lessons, deals with matters of responsibility, and about restructuring our lives. And for the past 2.5 years, Saturn has been in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn does rule our goals and ambitions, our career path, but also rules the patriarchal system and our third dimensional reality. Jupiter, on the other hand, rules expansion and rules our belief systems. It rules blessings and prosperity and abundance, but really it's about the expansion principle and expanding into new horizons and expanding your energies in a particular direction. With Jupiter, you can expand into the most positive of abundance and prosperity and blessings, or you can expand into the fears and the anxieties as well. And Jupiter spends a year in a sign. So for the past year of 2020, it's been in the sign of Capricorn as well, along with Saturn, and along with a third planet, Pluto, which spends a really long time in each sign of the zodiac. And as those three have been traveling together in 2020, it's been bringing up a lot regarding our systems on the planet, okay? Financial system, political systems. Again, it rules that Capricorn energy rules the patriarchal society. And, you know, the positive of that divine masculine energy, because that's really what the patriarchal system is ruled by, is masculine energy. The positive of divine masculine is wonderful, of take charge energy and make things happen and move towards your goals and be persistent. But the negative of that masculine energy, just like there's a positive and negative to each sign of the zodiac, or each planet has its positive keywords and its negative keywords. The shadow side of Capricorn is, again, it can be about control, and it's about status quo, and it's about power and who has that power and how they utilize it. And again, in the shadow aspect of Capricorn, it's usually in this negative and more controlling way, which is what we've seen with our society over many years, and the patriarchal energies kind of intensifying and expanding. And Jupiter being in Capricorn for this year of 2020 has expanded that energy. And with it being with Pluto, the planet that rules power and control or empowerment or transformation, change, and death and rebirth, we've seen that expansion of those transformational energies. We've seen the expansion of power and control. We've seen the expansion of you know, these power versus disempowerment versus empowerment energies. And with Saturn there in the mix in Capricorn as well, to top it all off, again, it's been bringing up karmic lessons that the collective of humanity, that we all have been experiencing, those karmic lessons of feeling restricted or limited, or having to take responsibility, or feeling held back from our ability to be, express, and be free. So it's really kind of been, you know, obviously, as we know, a difficult energy in 2020. But now here in December, we've already had again, and soon to be having this second eclipse, but we're in the midst of these eclipses bringing changes and redirections, bringing endings and new beginnings. in different areas of our lives, and in the different and various countries of the world as well, right? Because the eclipses affect countries as well as people. But on December 17th, we actually have Saturn, that planet that's been in Capricorn for 2.5 years, is moving out of Capricorn, which is actually Saturn's home sign, so he's very comfortable there. Saturn's going to be moving into Aquarius, that next sign of the zodiac. And Aquarius rules almost everything opposite that Capricorn rules. Aquarius is about freedom and independence and beating to the beat of your own drum. And it's about kind of new technology and free energy. And it's about what's best for the collective and doing what's best for the collective, coming together as a people to create the best next step for humanity, for all of us, to bring a sense of equality on planet Earth. And I'm going to get to in a minute, I'm going to come back to this idea of the Aquarian age, but on December 19th, 2 days later, Jupiter, the planet that I just discussed that has been in Capricorn for the past year, Jupiter will be moving into Aquarius on December 19th. So Jupiter is now going to expand the energies of Aquarius as it moves in there. And then 3 days later, after that, which is the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, the day that the sun moves into Capricorn, December 21st, this is going to be the day that Jupiter and Saturn come together at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And 0 degrees of any sign is a critical degree. It's known as a critical degree because it's the very first degree of that sign. So being the very first degree of the sign of Aquarius, it's about a new birth. So Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius is spectacular in and of itself. It's huge. But as they come together in what's called a conjunction at the 0 degree, the critical degree, the first degree of Aquarius, giving birth to that Aquarian energy in a new and different way, that's, again, above and beyond spectacular. Now, we talk about the age of Aquarius, so I just want to touch base on that because, you know, the ages, you know, last over a couple thousand years. Okay, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but each age, we've been in the age of Pisces, you know, for over 2,000 years. And there's really no good mathematical formula or way of knowing when is the true age of Aquarius beginning, or has it begun, or when will it begin. But a lot of astrologers think that with this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in the 0 degree point of Aquarius, that this is that final push for us moving into the age of Aquarius, which makes a lot of sense to me. Now, as I said, Saturn likes to restrict and limit energies, and so in some ways you could ask the question or wonder, is Saturn going to restrict and limit our freedom, which is Aquarius, energy even more? But yet Jupiter is about expansion and expanding that energy. So there might be a little bit of a push-pull thing going on at some points here throughout the next month. But Saturn is also known as the great manifester. He's the great teacher of karmic lessons, but he's also the great manifester. He deals with the manifestation principle, grounding something into our third dimensional reality, which is what he rules, the third dimensional reality. So in time, and partly with our intent, because we all have free will to think or believe whatever it is we want to think and believe, and it's okay that our beliefs might be different than somebody else's. That's one thing I think that might change here, is that we're going to be more allowing of people to have different thoughts, ideas, and beliefs than we do. But I think that overall, and generally speaking, with our intention and with our thoughts and our beliefs into the idea of freedom and equality for all, and us moving forward in the best possible way for all of the collective that lives here on Earth, Mother Gaia, including the animals, including nature, that I feel like if we send out our positive intentions and allow Jupiter to expand those positive intentions in the brightest, most optimistic way that Jupiter likes to do, Jupiter can be expanding into that optimistic, glass half full kind of mentality. If we allow Jupiter to do that, expand us into our sense of freedom, expand us into our sense of independence, expand us into the ideas of new technology, new energy, new changes for the collective that will help the group and not just the few, then Saturn, that's positive aspect of Saturn, can be to manifest or ground in and secure those energies at some point on our planet. So this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is known as the Great Conjunction. The Great Conjunction, okay? And it hasn't happened for a very long time. Jupiter and Saturn do come together, but it's about every 20 years or so that they connect in a particular sign. So this is a monumental kind of event, a monumental cosmic or astrological kind of event here that doesn't happen all the time. And we want to, pay special attention here to trends, topics, information, situational energies that occur the second half of December, because it might set the tone of the next few months into 2021 of what we're going to be dealing with. But Aquarius is an air sign. Aquarius deals with the mind, thoughts, ideas, inspirations. And it actually rules what we call the God mind. Aquarius is kind of having like an open crown chakra to channel and download information from the higher realms. So I feel like we could definitely be becoming aware and be given some messages and information, not just necessarily on a universal level, although that's definitely the case. But I feel like this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which Jupiter and Saturn will be in Aquarius for all of 2021. Jupiter, again, will stay in there for a year. Saturn, though, will be in there for 2.5 years in that sign of Aquarius. But I feel like this is going to maybe give us some big revelations or some big news. It's going to kind of, free up some of that information that maybe we haven't been privy to or given to in the past. Now Aquarius likes to inspire rebellion and unconventional thinking, and again, a brighter vision for the future. That coupled with the fact that we just had these eclipses in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius, which is also mind energy, Gemini being an air sign about our thoughts, our ideas and perceptions and ways we communicate. And Sagittarius, although it's a fire sign, deals with expanding our vision, expanding our belief systems, our higher perceptions and higher thinking, our higher mental body. I feel like, again, this is really going to shift the focus into one of receiving, again, those messages or information that maybe has been held back from us for a while. It's moving us towards freedom, Again, Aquarius, a key word of Aquarius is freedom. The new moon solar eclipse on December 14th is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius keyword is freedom. So there's a lot of freedom energies here that are at play. Now, this is about us taking our freedom back or taking our power back, moving into that sense or trying to work together as a collective to attain that true sense of freedom, okay? And what is that true sense of freedom? It's more than just our personal physical freedom. It's about our spiritual freedom as well. Okay, so there might be other things that this, Aquarius initiation brings in, like new sources of energy, new technology, etc. But let's talk very briefly and quickly about what solar house of the zodiac it falls in, depending on what sign of the zodiac you are. So if you're an Aries, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, this initiation of that Aquarian, independent, freedom-oriented energy lands in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, of getting together with groups of like-minded people or networking and making new associations with people that have a common vision in mind. So this is where that Jupiter-Saturn energy might affect you, Aries. For Taurus, this conjunction lands in the 10th house. So this is expanding and or activating and or attempting to try to manifest the energy in your career path, your life path, your destiny path, and you owning your own or expanding into your own inner sense of authority. If you're a Gemini, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 9th solar house. And this is about, again, expanded vision, expanded ideas, new belief systems, teaching, learning, publishing, connecting with people of other cultures, people that have different philosophies, but the sharing and acceptance of everybody is having different philosophies with no judgment. If you're a Cancer, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is going to land in your 8th house. And the 8th house is about death and rebirth. It's about transformation, regeneration, transmutation. It's about the shadow side of your psyche and digging down deep to gain access to things on a subconscious level and to, again, transmute those lower vibrational energies into something higher. The 8th house, though, also rules other people's or partners' money, time, and resources. If you're a Leo, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 7th house, which rules relationships and partnerships of all kind. It's about romantic relationships, business relationships, friendship and family relationships, all one-on-one relationships, and the idea of harmony, equality, balance, and compromise. If you're a Virgo, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 6th house, which is the house of health, your physical health. It's about your job or your work. It's about the service that you do for other people. And it can also rule pets, and it rules the day-to-day activities of life. And then if you're a Libra, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 5th house. So again, we might have this expansion energy or manifesting energy eventually that deals with your creative self-expression, your creative abilities, or situations to do with children or your own inner child, issues to do with dating or romance, as well as fun and entertainment. If you are a Scorpio, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 4th house. And so again, we're initiating this new age of Aquarian, independent, freedom-oriented energy in the area of life that deals with home and family, your living situation, your land, your property, and your biological and or spiritual ancestry is ruled by the 4th house, as well as the deepest, innermost part of your being, so the emotional, deep emotional aspects of who you are. If you're a Sagittarius, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 3rd house. This is all about your thoughts, your ideas, your perceptions, your communications, and communications and messages also coming to you. So you could definitely be expanding your horizons and learning something new in this way. Capricorn, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 2nd house of your money, your values, your finances, your personal resources, as well as your sense of self-worth and how you value yourself. So again, you know that Jupiter-Saturn has such different energies. Saturn might bring up lessons regarding how you value yourself, and Jupiter wants to expand your sense of self-worth at the same time. So that, along with some of the other things that I mentioned, could be affected. If you are an Aquarius, this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, of course, lands in your 1st house. And so this is going to be an initiation of these energies, this new era of energy in regards to your sense of personality, your projected personality or traits, how people see you, how you just kind of project yourself out to the world, basically. And then for those of you that are Pisces, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction lands in your 12th house, which rules a whole lot of things. It rules the spiritual realms, it rules the dream time, it rules connections to our angels, guides, loved ones on the other side. It rules things that are of illusion and confusion or intangible or not able to be seen. So we have to have trust and faith as things unfold. And the 12th house can also rule your mental health or institutions like hospitals and whatnot. So I hope you've all enjoyed this Jupiter-Saturn video, a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but I wanted to get that out there before it got too close to the time, just to give you a little bit of additional information about the importance of this month of December as we get ready to move into 2021, which is going to have a whole new kind of energy associated with it. So sending you all lots of love and light and many holiday blessings, everyone. Namaste.